Hi, it's Alexis. In this video, I'm gonna share with you the 4 reasons why it's not over. It's a question I get, or it's something I get a lot from people. They call me and say, Alexis, I think this time this is over. I think this time there's nothing we can solve. I've just lost the love of my life. And in reality, there are 4 reasons or 4 things that you can analyze to see whether it is really over or not. And if you want to bounce ideas, if you feel that you really need to speak with someone about that, there are links below. More than happy to have a chat with you. I'm here to help you. It's totally free to get in touch with me. Don't hesitate. So what are the 4 reasons? The first one is you analyze that there's a lot of breakups. You tend to, separate frequently, maybe every month and what you can use by that, and it's very counterintuitive because you think like, yeah, we're breaking up, but this time is bigger than the others. And the reason it's not necessarily over is because your ex might be using that technique to express something. So she or he would say, it's over, I don't want to see you anymore, just to prove a point, because there's something that he or she thinks she doesn't accept from you, or she wants you to work on, or she things that you say or things that you do, and she feels or he feels that you don't understand and you don't change as a result of that. And they use that technique just to express something. It's just a move, sort of a tactic. If you were to do a battle or a war, they use that card just to express something and to make a point. So really, they use that to make a point. So now your job is to understand what was the underlying cause of that. Work on that. If you're struggling to understand why, or what were the underlying causes of that, again, have a chat with a friend, with a psychologist, with anyone, with a coach, with myself, but you have to find why, what's the reason of this breakup? Because unless you solve that issue, you are damaging the relationship, a little by little, and the risk is that it could really be over. And I'm going to come to that point at the end of the video with the 2 reasons it is over, unfortunately. Second reason it is not over is just because you're in a stressful moment. Maybe lockdown really affected your relationship. There's a lot of stress at work. There's a lot of stress, with the kids or anything like that. So you can see that basically your behavior or the way you interact with your ex was different. There's something different, but because of a context of stress of the environment. So it's not about your love, it's not about you, it's just the context or the stress that really, really affected the relationship and pushes you towards a breakup. So if that's the case, you just have to relax, reflect, see how you can de-escalate the stress. Really try to minimize and see, if it's a problem with, work, how you can address this and come back to your ex, having solved that problem. If it's because of lockdown, have to try to find some space for you guys. You have to find a solution together, because this is not your ex against you. There's a problem lying between you guys. It's just how you can look at the problem from the side and say, okay, this is a stressful moment. I acknowledge that there's something wrong here. I'm not myself. You're not yourself because of this situation. So how can you solve that together to make sure that this doesn't affect your couple? The third one is you sort of break up because at the result of a heated argument. And it's very frequent. Sometimes we are angry. We sort of say things we don't mean. Maybe your ex said something he didn't mean, and as a result of that, it escalated, and your ex said, yeah, that's over. I don't accept that. It's over between us. I don't want to see you anymore. And actually, what you have to acknowledge is we're not always the person, we are not always the words we mean. And it's the same for your ex. Maybe she or he said something that actually he didn't mean, and things escalated with anger and with passion. Things went sideways. So what you need to do is to reflect and understand what was wrong, what was right, what did she mean, and sort of try to come to a point of forgiveness. from your point of view and from their point of view. And what you have to acknowledge is the person you are or the person your ex is when they're angry is not their real person. So you really have to acknowledge that and understand from that point of view how you can come back together at a level of de-escalation, things have settled down, now we can start again talking and addressing any issues or any points. But don't, engage or talk with your ex when you are at that level of anger, right? Okay. And the fourth one is that you actually still in touch. So you broke up, but your ex still likes your post on Instagram, sends you texts, sends you messages. And so what it means, it could be that they were making a point again, trying to, tell you there's something wrong about that. So I really want you to have a hard time. Really want you to understand, why I was mad at you. So I decided we're gonna break up. But at the same time, I still want to stay in touch with you. There's still this connection. And that's a sign that actually your ex is still in love with you and your ex still thinks about you. Your ex still pictures yourself in her or his life. And what they just did with the breakup is just to make a point again. So understand that when there's still a contact, actually your ex just used that breakup to make a point. So these were the 4 reasons, but now I'm going to explain the two reasons why your couple is over. The first one is you are in a toxic relationship. You were happy without that person, she or he was happy without you, and together you're not happy. There's excitement, there's passion, there's love, maybe you have great sex, but together you're unhappy. And I'm going to take the example of alcohol or drugs. Alcohol or drugs, they make you sort of excited and have a good laugh when you have a drink, but it's not good for you, right? So you have to see whether your relationship with your ex was toxic or not. And if you're not together, actually that is good, because you shouldn't want to be in a toxic relationship. You should avoid being with a toxic person or someone who makes the relationship toxic. Not maybe as their own they are like fine, but together you make it toxic. And the second reason it is over is that when there is fatigue in the couple, when, as we explained, after too many arguments, you've never managed to solve the underlying issue. And it's a bit like a rope or a string that you pulled way too much till it extended and broke. If you don't solve these issues at the beginning or before things break up, this almost the rope of trust, I would say, breaks up, then it's over and you can't really get back to it. So you really, and sometimes you might feel that the rope is broken, as we explained at the beginning, but most of the time it isn't. If you are struggling to find what is the main reason, if you need to understand what you need to work on yourself, maybe it is something about anger management, maybe you have trust issue, read books, try to analyze things, speak with people, get a psychologist or a coach, speak with people, but try to really work on yourself. That's something about yourself, or try to work on things that you're doing. I don't know, maybe your ex is telling you you're lazy, you don't have a job, go and find a job. If you really love that person, if that's the love of your life, that's your job to really work on yourself. Work on yourself for you guys to get together, to be together. Well, I hope that was helpful. Again, there are links at the bottom of the video, more than happy to help. And hopefully I gave you some good news. It is not over. It's not over. I swear. See you. Bye.